I'm a resident fellow for those of you who might not know me. And welcome to the PresenTense Institute for Creative Zionism. And tonight I'd like to introduce Benny Levin, who is chairman of DB Motion's board of directors. He also co-founded NICE Systems. He served in the IDF. And is vice chairman of the Israel Venture Network. And tonight he will speak about high tech and society and his experience and in high tech and how it translates into social action and the concept of venture philanthropy. So I'm very proud to introduce anyone.
Asked me in the beginning to talk about the connection between high-tech and Zionism. Beginning is what's the connection between high-tech and Zionism in Israel. It's you build like a company, a top global company, you eventually move your headquarters to the state, it goes to the customer, there's no market in Israel. But I think most of the people who build high-tech companies here in Israel have been exposed to the global market and global culture and like to stay to live here in Israel. Important to them that we have a better country here. Not just the best R&D shop in the world, but also other things that our kids who like to be here and stay here and not live because it's not a place that you're proud to live in. Those people who were part of this industry and development in Israel in the last 20 years think believe that they got the root to this, the ingredients to this industry from this country, from whether being in IDF or being in intelligence unit or being in the Technion or whatever, and get the culture of how to be an entrepreneur. And if you can be in the stage that you can give back to the country, which is seeing the change right now in Israel, giving back was better now than years ago. The state is a much more developed culture to give back to the community. Why don't we give back to the community when we can financially can do it? But also, hopefully, we can take some of the culture. Now I'm talking about IBM or our vision. Why don't we take some of the culture that we have been exposed to and be part of the cultural file fighting companies, meaning global companies, transparency, objectives, data, decision by data, very accountable. Why don't we take it to the public sector here and change the culture so overall things will be more better in the way of management culture. So I believe this is the way to eventually to connect those entrepreneurs with the high tech that are willing to give back to the community in Israel and help them know and use their know-how of how to communicate with the people that they are in the world and how to present Israel and how to build better society in Israel. And it's building now in Israel. I think we are at a different stage than years ago. We will be part of that whatever you do in your life, you're still young. I'd be happy that we will make it for as a discussion rather than a presentation, but in order to do it, I will probably talk about 3 issues, and we can direct me to other issues if you like. Tell about where I'm coming from, what I'm doing personally. Share with you a bit about the high-tech industry as well, what I believe good and what I believe it's not so good here. And I'll talk to you about IVN, the organization that I'm part of, which is Israel Venture Network, which is a philanthropy organization of mainly high-tech executives that we, beside of donation of money, we are very heavily involved in philanthropy in Israel, in education, in social leadership, in creating jobs in the periphery. And for example, I'm doing about 67% of my time in that, beside the money that I'm doing. And I'm not alone, there are other people doing this well. So me personally, I'm the 4th generation Israelis. Pretty strange. Both sides of my father and my mother. My grandparents live in Rishon LeZion and Massachusetts. Mainly in the agriculture. That was used to be in Israel. The Zionism of the 60s, 50s was the main around agriculture. Remember my father used to tell me that in the orchard that he had, he said, you will build your industry in this place. And he's thinking about industry stuff, not about agriculture. Or I build industry not in this place, but in different. But that was. I was part of what we call academic reserve in Israel. You go to the University of Technion and then you go to the army. And I served after that. I have two degrees from the Technion, first and second degrees in electronic engineering. And I served about 14 years in what they call Shmonematayim, intelligence unit that most of the entrepreneurs in Europe come from. I guess that's where I get my post-university of what to do and how to develop things. Part of that I was responsible for a very large project which was developed after peace treatment with Egypt to develop in the early 80s in California, in the Bay Area. It was the largest project that the intelligence developed in the state. I was a project manager and I had about 25 families, Israelis that worked for me out of the development team of the American. And that was the first time that we were exposed to the high tech in the US. That was the early 80s. We went to the Bay Area. Israel was nothing. And we saw beautiful facilities. We went to work with a company that got a video conference from Stanford. We never heard about that. We used email and Macintosh. We didn't understand why you used to use email. It's why can't you talk? Why should I invite you to a party via email? I mean, it was. And remember, we were there. Me and a colleague of mine said, why can't we do industry like that in Israel? In those days, the high tech in Israel was mainly Elta, Tasia Avirit, Rafael, those defense industry. Small commercial industry was the area called Rehov HaMasger, which is probably right now it's a car dealers now. So there's no culture of the environment you want to provide. I said, why can't we do something like that? We're not so bad. I mean, technologically we were very much comparable with this American company. And our vision that after we returned to Israel and we spent another 2 years in the army, we said we would like to build a company that will be a high-tech company that will be a fun place to work with, that will be very professional and a world leader. That was our business plan. We didn't know what to develop, we didn't know what to product, we didn't know what is the commercial, how do you build a company. And we said, okay, we try it for a year. If it's not work, we'll go work as the other, most of the engineers will work in Elta or in Tasia Avirit, but let's give us a try for a year. And just interesting, I left the army 4 years before I could get a retirement, and I left the army with 20,000 shekels. That was my own money after 30 years in the army. So we want to do something.